name is Karina, and welcome to Life's Little Things. This is my oldest son,
Justin.
my husband,
Jason.
my youngest son,
Tim.
Okay, we asked you about a month ago for some questions for our favorites for the month of June. And thank you so much for your response and all the questions that you gave us.
Some of them were for the month of June and some are for any time favorites.
Yeah, some are for the favorites of June and some are for all-time favorites.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. So the first person was on Snapchat, and it was Casey on Snapchat. And her question was favorite board game for the family. I have down Sorry. We play that quite often for a board game, but for a non-board game, we love Apples to Apples.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what I had down too.
I have Sorry and Clue, and then for non-board game, mine is Uno.
Oh, Uno,
yeah.
What's yours?
I'd say Apples to Apples. I don't have a favorite board game. I'm not as big into like board games as I am the card games.
Mm-hmm. Oh, we also like Yahtzee. That's a good one too.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, this one's from Shelly Bean from Instagram, and she asked, what is our favorite ethnic food? My favorite ethnic food is Asian, and mine was a restaurant called Pies in Michigan.
I'm going to go Asian food. My favorite place was a place in Midland called Yummy Japan. And then down here, I just tried Pei Wei for the first time, and that was really good.
Mine's Asian also, and again, Pies, Chinese, and Michigan was my favorite.
Mine is Asian and Mexican.
Yeah, that was a tough choice.
Yeah.
Shelly Bean also asked our favorite dessert. My favorite dessert is brownie with peanut butter frosting.
Oh man, okay. My weakness, it's also my kryptonite, is chocolate chip cookies. Doesn't matter how I get them, doesn't matter if they come in a package or they're homemade, I will eat them. When we were in Michigan, we used to have a store called Myers, and they had the best chocolate chip cookies ever. And hashtag Justin wants Myers chocolate chip cookies, send me them, please. We're gonna get the hashtag started, hashtag that.
Mine is a boxed dessert. It's Reese's peanut butter pie. It's got like a chocolate crust that you put butter or margarine in it, and then there's like peanut butter and then chocolate on top. So hashtag Reese's peanut butter pie, send me one.
Mine is strawberry ice cream. Just as long as it's strawberry ice cream, I can eat it.
Shelly Bean also asked us our favorite song ever. Mine is Brown Eyed Girl.
Dun, 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 dun.
I don't have a favorite, but I thought I'd choose one that is one of my favorites that probably a lot of people don't know. It's called Emerald by Thin Lizzy. It's from like their 1975 album, the one with The Boys Are Back in Town.
Oh,
it's a double guitar, and it's the first true like power metal guitar playing. It's fantastic. They're an Irish band. If you get a chance, check that out. It's on iTunes.
I have a lot of favorites, but if I had to pick one, it would be You Shook Me All Night Long by AC/DC. That just, every time it comes on the radio, I just crank it.
I had a really hard time with this question because there are so many songs that I love so much, but I decided to go with Oblivion by Mastodon. It is really, really good.
Okay, if you can hear her, we have a boxer puppy behind us on the couch, and she is snoring. So if you hear extra noise, that's her snoring on the couch. Okay, Rachel from YouTube asked, favorite memory from the month of June? I wrote down finding out that my sister and my niece and great niece are coming at the end of July to stay with us for a week.
Mine was Mom and Dad were gone to Oklahoma the prior, if you've seen any of Mom's old other videos. While they were down there, me and Timmy I took a day off of my summer job, and we went on a comic book hunt for Batman issue 25, which led us to many different comic book shops trying to find that stupid thing, and then even trying to find it online. But end of the day, we did find it. But it was just kind of funny, the things that we were doing, and
Yeah.
it was the journey.
Yeah.
Mine, if you've seen some of the recent videos, I'm starting a GoFundMe account because my favorite memory was a 2017 Dodge Challenger with a 426 Hemi.
No, he is not for real.
I was gonna say the GoFundMe page should be for my Myers cookies.
No, shush.
Mine is also driving the Dodge Challenger.
No, I'm just kidding.
Oh.
Okay, Rachel also asked us a favorite show on Netflix or television, and I chose, I actually have a few. We don't watch Netflix shows. We watch TV, and it's Bluebloods, Man with a Plan, and Lethal Weapon.
Well, me and Timmy, we watch a lot of Netflix and TV shows, and I decided to switch it up. And I have, for TV shows, I have Vikings, which is on the History Channel. They're starting back up on their 5th season soon. And then for Netflix shows, I have F is for Family. It's like an adult animated cartoon. Definitely not for kids. They swear a little bit in it, more than they probably should, but it is hilarious.
Also, one thing, Christine725 from YouTube asked that same question, so we kind of looped these together. I have down Lethal Weapon. It's a remake. It's a really funny show. Bluebloods, Last Man Standing, Man with a Plan, and Longmire. Those are my favorite TV shows.
Mine is Vikings on the History Channel, BoJack Horseman, which is a Netflix exclusive, and Arrested Development, which started off on TV, and then I think it got canceled, and then Netflix picked it up, and they're doing it now, which is really good.
Rachel also asked favorite snack or meal for the month of June, and my favorite snack was honey roasted pecans.
Kung Pao chicken from Payway. First time I tried it, and I fell in love with it, and I crave it now.
So mine was, a video came out the other day, or actually today. Guy at work's mom made some bread and butter pickled eggs. If you ever had bread and butter pickles, they're kind of sweet, but she actually pickled eggs with that same type of brine, and they were really good.
Yeah, that was really good. Mine, I did a favorite snack and meal. I did strawberry wafers for my favorite snack, and Thai dynamite from Payway was my favorite meal, which is really good.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
Rachel also asked favorite YouTube channel for June or a newly discovered YouTube channel. What's your favorite YouTube channel, boys?
Life's Little Things.
Life's Little Things.
Life's Little Things.
I actually don't have a favorite, and I didn't discover anything really new this month. We've had a busy month, but I just watch a bunch of different ones, so.
Most of the ones that I usually watch kind of sucked this month. They made terrible content. The only one I can think of that did really well was Black Metal Werewolf. He's a newer guy. He's probably got about 20,000 subscribers. If you're into music and you like metal, check him out. He's pretty interesting. It's kind of fun. He is the stereotype of metalheads, but in a good way, and he knows it. It's pretty funny.
Mine truly is Life's Little Things. I don't really watch much YouTube.
Oh, have I told you that you're my favorite?
Thanks. Yeah, boys.
You can make my Twitch.
Mine is Game Grumps and Michael Cthulhu, whose shirt I'm wearing. Michael Cthulhu. Basically, Game Grumps, they just play games and get mad. And Michael Cthulhu builds giant swords. He's a welder, and he welds together giant swords from video games. It is really, really cool.
Yeah. Roger from YouTube asked, favorite movie for June. My favorite movie for June was called American Graffiti. It's an older one, and it has Ron Howard in it. And I don't remember her name. It's the one who played on Laverne and Shirley, but it was Shirley. Good, really good. Beautiful cars in that movie, and the music is all 50s and amazing.
Cinematography.
Yeah,
is
it was
wonderful.
great. Okay.
I'm gonna say American Graffiti. That's
too?
the only movie I watched this month. I've been slacking.
No,
you've
he's
been
working.
For years, harasses me. Why do you go to bed so early? And I'm like, because I get up in the morning. Well, now he has to get up at 5 with me. And now he knows why I go to bed so early. So my favorite. So I watched American Graffiti, and it was really good. But we watched another one, and it's another older movie. Martin Sheen is probably 23, 24 years old in this,
Yeah,
and
baby.
Nick Nolte also.
Yeah.
And it's called The California Kid. Some beautiful cars, good movie. The music in that one wasn't quite so good as American Graffiti, but it was a really good movie. So it was called The California Kid.
Yeah.
Something I loved about that movie is that it was only an hour and 13 minutes long. So they just told their story that they wanted to tell in an hour and 30, and there was like no filler at all to it.
Yeah.
It was real good. But my favorite movie for June is called The Long Goodbye. It's a neo-noir starring Elliot Gould from MASH. And it's not much of a mystery, but it's supposed to be. It's just like everything that happens in the movie makes it really like a really good watch.
Roger from YouTube also asked favorite TV channel for June. Mine was the Hallmark Channel, just because when we were in the hotel, we watched a lot of, or I did, Home Improvement, Last Man Standing. I love to watch TD Land, Everybody Loves Raymond, and on TBS's reruns of The Big Bang Theory.
I would say I have two. Cartoon Network. I watch like a lot of Adult Swim after 9 o'clock, like Family Guy, American Dad, things like that. And then also FS1, because me and Tim are huge UFC fans, and that's the channel it usually comes on unless it's pay-per-view.
Actually, my favorite for the month was Hallmark again, because of Last Man Standing and Home Improvement reruns. Love those two shows. Love Tim Allen.
Mine was FS1 because of the UFC fights, and then whatever channel the Stanley Cup was. I don't remember. I don't watch a lot of TV, so I don't watch anything other than sports, basically.
We stream more than anything.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, Roger also asked favorite restaurant for June. My favorite restaurant was the 50s style Denny's in Pryor, Oklahoma.
I know I keep saying that Payway, so I'm gonna go with Cheddar's, because Cheddar's, just in a general sense, is my favorite restaurant that we've discovered down here, and I've eaten there probably 2 or 3 times this month.
This is not an paid advertisement for Payway. But
No, just like Fallout 4, the last one.
Yeah.
Mine, I would have to say, is called the All American Grill in Pryor, Oklahoma. They have good steaks, good side dishes. It was really good.
So I know we're not advertising it, but mine was Payway.
Okay, Roger also asked favorite least known comic. I don't have one. Justin?
Tim, you want to go first?
Okay. So all my comics are not known. I read very unknown comics, but my favorite is one called I Hate Fairyland. It's very cartoony but very violent. It's basically Alice in Wonderland meets Saw or Texas Chainsaw Massacre. So not for kids, blood, that kind of stuff.
And it's a comedy.
But it's a comedy, so it does it in a comedic way. It's funny about the violence. And there's no swearing because they say muffin fluffer instead of other words.
I decided to put mine into 2. For teenagers and adults, I went with a comic book called Extremity. Right now, Extremity is probably my favorite comic book that's out there. I actually get so excited when I find out it's coming out that week that I shake. And it's so awesome when I get it. And I literally, that's the first thing I do when I get home is just read it. I can't put it away. And then sometimes I'll read it 2-3 times just to make sure I know what's going to happen for the next one. And then for kids, I would say the Steven Universe comic book. They redid it just recent. In March, they brought out #1 again. And they now have it set the tone that the TV show is, so it has a little bit of the drama in it. But it's action-packed, it's funny, and it's clean, and I recommend that for kids.
Did you have anything?
The Walking Dead. Well, I think people know that one, so no, I have no unknown comments.
Okay, Roger also asked favorite book for June. My favorite book for June is an older one, and it's by Ruth Langan, and it's called RORY. RORY, and it's a historical romance.
Mine is, I started reading, I read the first chapter of it online, so I ended up buying it. It's called Tales of Ragnar Lodbrok. It's based, the Vikings TV show is based on him and his family, and he was, controversially, he's a real person, depending on who you ask historian-wise, but it's fantastic. It's just his life and his heroism that they talk about in the Viking era. It's good.
The funny thing is, his wife is a real person, his kids are real people, and the things that he's done has actually happened, but historians can't agree whether or not he actually existed.
Or that all his kids were really his.
Yeah.
So the only book that I did this month in June was book A Trip to Pryor. So other than that, I
Tim?
Mine is The Sandman by Neil Gaiman. I read volume 4 of it, and I enjoy it a lot. And we get to go to see Neil Gaiman in a few days, so.
I will try to have all these books and stuff. I'll have the names and stuff for you down below in case you're interested. So look at the description and I'll do that for you. Roger also asked, favorite home-cooked meal for June? Mine was beef tips. And it was the first time I had ever made those, and they turned out so good that I will be making them. I will make a video.
Mine is Kung Pao chicken. As much as I love restaurant Kung Pao chicken, home.
Oh, okay. I thought you were referencing Payway.
No. What I was gonna say, as much as I love the Payway version of it, home cooked is better.
Mine was spinach and artichoke stuffed chicken, and it's got like you butterfly the chicken, and then on the outside, and you stuff it with artichoke, and there's some sauce in there. Then on the outside of it had cheeses and
yeah, I'll have
Ritz
it linked.
crackers. Oh,
Yeah.
it's
I'll
fantastic.
have that linked. I'll have the Kung Pao linked. So good.
Mine was the chicken rice chimichangas. Did you do a video on those?
I have not done a video on those. I need to.
Uh-oh.
I know I'm slacking on
Well,
that one, huh?
So you guys don't know what they look like, but they're chimichangas with rice, chicken, and cheese. And yeah.
Oh, they're good.
Yeah.
Okay, Diana from YouTube asked our favorite vacation of all time. Mine was when we went to Gatlinburg. We got to go out to the Ripley's Museum and what was the other thing? The zoo. Yeah.
Mine, we've had a lot of fun vacations, but
Yeah.
I think my favorite has to be when we went to Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. I think these guys can all agree. I love history. And since I could read, the Civil War has always been something I loved. And when it comes to Gettysburg, that was always the one battle since I was little, just studied that. There's just something about it. And to actually get to go see it and like live it was like a dream come true. It was awesome.
Yeah.
My favorite is one year we rented a cabin in this little tiny town called Townsend, Tennessee. It was in the Smoky Mountains, and it was awesome. We had to drive through mountains to get to the cabin, and when you were standing out in the yard, no matter where you turned, you were surrounded by mountains. The mountain caps were above the clouds. It was just so peaceful and just quiet, and just it was awesome. That was my favorite.
Well, ever since I was in kindergarten, I've always wanted to go to Colorado, and we finally got to. But the morning of, I got stomach flu, so I couldn't go anywhere or do anything except for be in a hotel room and eat Del Taco. So because of that, I also have Pennsylvania, because when we were in Pennsylvania, we got to go to a place called the Jenny Wade House, and it was it was a civilian casualty. A bullet came through the door and killed her. And now it's known as one of the most haunted places in America. And we didn't know that going into it.
In Gettysburg.
It's
in Gettysburg.
In Gettysburg.
Yes.
Yeah, so we didn't know it was haunted. And then when we get there, the guy's like, oh, yeah, they do haunted tours and everything here.
Oh,
we're like,
it's haunted.
oh, okay.
Oh, yeah. That was horrible. Oh,
Definitely
my goodness.
memorable.
Yeah. Okay, Diana also asked our favorite holiday. My favorite holiday is Christmas.
Halloween. I love scary things.
Christmas.
Halloween. If you can't tell by my last answer, yes, I also love scary things.
Diana also asked our favorite candy. My favorite candy is Reese's Peanut Butter Cups.
Kit Kats.
Sixlets, the little round chocolate-covered chocolate that are in the little sleeves about the size of your pinky. I love those things.
I couldn't decide, so I have Swedish Fish, Mike and Ike's, and Kit Kats.
Diana also asks, what 5 items do you want with you during an apocalypse? Okay, mine I put down my Bible. I want my Ruger 9mm with bullets, please. Okay, it's Jason's, but I say it's mine because it's mine. And then I'm going to take my guys because everything that they have, they're going to help me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had a big discussion on this.
Yeah, huge. I'm going to take Jules because I can't leave my baby. And I think I need some soap.
I went with, mine's kind of medieval. I went with a castle with moat, keep things out, food and water supply, armor, an axe, and a bow and arrow. And me and Tim, it's kind of funny, me and Tim were talking about this yesterday before we even seen this list, and we were saying that like if there was ever like an apocalypse or like something happens, we want to become modern day Vikings and like get on a boat and just like start raiding places.
Everything.
Yeah, like just start taking everybody's stuff because it's ours now.
I'm gonna change my name to Olaf and become a Viking.
The strongest survive.
Yeah.
No sympathy for the weak.
Okay, Jason?
Okay, so, well, since I can't have my 9mm, I'll take my 44 mag. I want an AR-15. I want a semi-load of MREs, which stands for Meals Ready to Eat. It's military food for if you're in the field. A semi-load of water, and then a Gerber Mark IV boot knife, and that's so that when you're hunting, if you run out of MREs, you can, take care of your game so that you can eat.
Did you say semi-load of water?
Yeah.
So like would the roof have like the off? So like the water could, like when it rains, it
I
could...
don't know, I didn't put that much thought into it.
Tim?
So mine's very defensive. Mine is a bomb shelter, solar power generator, life supply of bottled water, a life supply of canned food, and a crowbar just in case the generator goes out. I need something to break in.
Wait, can opener? How are you going to get your stuff open? You don't have anything on there?
Crowbar. Yes.
Yeah.
We forgot the most important thing. Indoor plumbing. I don't want to use the bathroom in a forest or...
Okay.
I hope you can dig.
Next.
I don't have a shovel. I didn't think of a shovel.
Your crowbar.
Okay, Diana also asked 5 people who you would invite to your dinner table. I would invite Billy Graham, Reba McEntire, Robert Duvall, Tim Allen, and Tom Selleck.
I went with Selena Gomez, Thomas Paine, which is one of my favorite writers, Charles Martel. I'd love to learn about his battle strategies from the old times. Lemmy Kilmister, who I'm wearing Motorhead, one of my favorite musicians. And then Nathaniel Greene, which was one of the generals during the Revolutionary War. So I have 2 guys from the Revolutionary War, Thomas Paine and Nathaniel Greene. But Nathaniel Greene deserves more credit than he gets. If you get time, study him. He did a lot more than even George Washington did.
Okay, Jason?
I've got Morgan Freeman, Denzel Washington, Bruce Willis, Dwayne Johnson, and Adam Sandler. Of course, I'm going to meet everybody else's guests, so that was my list.
Mine is Buckethead. He's a guy who plays guitar and wears a KFC bucket on his head. Dave Mustaine, the head singer of Megadeth. Neil Gaiman, the author. Gordon Ramsay, because he can either cook the food or make fun of it. And then Scott Ian, the rhythm guitarist from Anthrax.
Okay, Diana also asked our favorite reptile. Mine is the Texas horned toad.
My favorite part about summer is when frogs come out. And I love to see frogs and toads by our house. And I just can stay out all night long watching them.
I like both of those too, but I also like the big, huge yellow and white banana snakes. I love those things. Those are pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'm between chameleons and Komodo dragons. I love both of those.
Okay, Chris from YouTube asked, favorite thing or place about your home other than each other? My favorite place is the covered patio.
My room. It's my safe space. Just lock the door and hide.
Okay, Jason?
Hide under the covers.
Yeah.
Jason?
I'm trying. So I'm gonna go to our bedroom suite and close the door. No, that's my favorite. No, because I can't get a word in edgewise. It's driving me
Are you
nuts.
also gonna hide under your?
I'm gonna hide under my covers.
Mine's my
With the
room.
camera.
Yeah, sorry. No, go.
They
you're
won't
fine.
let me talk.
What'd you say, Tim? Wait.
He's crying.
I'm losing it. Wait.
I don't even know what's going on.
Timmy, what's your favorite place about the house?
Mine is my room, because I have my computer and games in there.
Okay. Oh my. Chris also asked favorite quote that you live by. Mine is one that is from how I based my channel. Enjoy the little things in life, for one day you'll look back and realize they were the big things.
An unknown Rome novelist wrote, "In time of peace, prepare for war." I think that's good to real life.
Mine is do unto others before others do unto you. No, I'm just
Jason?
kidding. Actually,
I'm gonna get them back. He's still under the covers. Pizza for not letting me talk.
What's your favorite quote? Okay.
it's actually, may you live as long as you want and never want as long as you live.
Oh, that's nice.
That's a good one.
It's an Irish blessing.
Boy,
It's
that's
an
good.
Irish. Thanks.
I don't know who said this, but my favorite is prepare for the worst, but hope for the best.
Okay, Chris asked favorite celebrity crush or crushes. I don't crush on anybody right now. And when I was younger, man, this really made me think. What?
You don't crush on me?
You're
but
not a
I'm
celebrity.
Oh, okay.
In his own mind.
It wasn't nice.
I'm a YouTube star still under the covers.
Alright. Okay, seriously. From my younger days, the only thing I can think of, the only actor was the young George Clooney. Or I absolutely loved the band Whitesnake.
Selena Gomez. Or Tiffany Amber Thiessen. I used to watch reruns of Saved by the Bell when I was younger, and she was so pretty.
When I was young, I think most guys my age was Farrah Fawcett. But now that I'm grown up, my celebrity crush is the girl off of Life's Little Things.
Tim?
Ever since I was like, what would you say, like 8 or 9, I've had a crush on Hayley Williams. And the other one was Emma Roberts. Those were my 2 celebrity crushes.
Okay, Chris asked, one thing you will absolutely never eat or taste. I put anything grossly exotic. Anything, like monkey brains, ew, anything. That's good enough. Justin?
A lot. I'm very picky.
Well, my first choice was calf fries. And if you don't know what those are, look it up. But now that these guys have mentioned their things, I should add to my list because there's a lot of things I won't try. But calf fries was my first choice.
Yeah.
Mine is a beating snake heart. I don't know where they do it, but somewhere they kill the snake and then they take his heart while it's still beating and then they swallow it. And you can actually see someone eat it if you look up Gordon Ramsay beating snake heart. Someone actually eats one.
I'd throw up.
He's a comedian, so it's really funny.
Yeah.
Okay, Chris also asked, funniest thing that happened to you. When we lived in Michigan, our house was a 2-story house. Well, Justin's bedroom was on the end, which faced out the front. Well, we had my sister Cassie, and then she had 4 kids, and then Justin, Tim, so there were 6 kids there, and they were down in the driveway playing. So me and Cassie filled up a bunch of water balloons, and I took the screen out of the window, and we started throwing water balloons at the kids down below in the driveway. And some of them didn't break. The kids picked up the balloons and started throwing them back up, and some of them were coming through the window, and I was like, stop, because water was going everywhere. Oh, yeah. Justin?
Mine, in a general sense, has been my love life. And what I mean by that it's like a Greek comedy where it starts out as a tragedy and you're hoping it turns into
Happily ever after.
yes.
Well, oh my god. Jason?
So I have this really cool travel hammock. It folds up and then you unfold it and you hang on, hook it on the ends. So last year I was laying in it one day out in the backyard and Jules kept licking my arm. So the next time she'd come up to lick my arm, I kind of rolled like this. But when I rolled out, I rolled out and I was like laying like this underneath the hammock. Well, I got two little butt heads. They took pictures.
No, that was me.
And then started making memes about me. It was kind of funny, but it was also kind of offensive.
It was hilarious because we started sending them to his brother.
Yeah.
I love creating memes, and he just put one of those like perfect memes together that only like our family would get. It was just
it was so funny.
The first one was he fell in, and he's like laying like this, and I took a picture and I put hanging out with the family and just like.
And nobody cared. And he just laid there. And we all laughed and we're taking pictures.
It was hilarious.
Yeah, that was real funny.
That was my first reaction. Grab the
camera.
Yeah.
Okay, Tim?
Mine is when we were younger, we were like 13 and 15. We were out at the mall. And we were like, oh, let's go to Barnes & Noble. It was like 10 minutes before the stores were supposed to close on the mall side. And so as we're going there, we noticed their gates shutting. And we're like, oh no, we're not going, because we would have to go all the way around the mall and then outside and then back in just to get into the Barnes & Noble.
And I was at Barnes & Noble and I was sitting there looking through books.
So what we decided was we were going to take off running. And Justin just ducked under the gate. I slid under the gate, and the lady who was closing the gate, she starts freaking out, and she's like, "No, stop!" And I guess it's because she couldn't stop the gate, and we possibly could have been injured. But we weren't. We were fine, and we thought it was really funny. But she started yelling at us like, "You're not supposed to do that!" And
when she started yelling, it echoed throughout the whole entire mall.
Yeah.
And I was sitting there, and I heard somebody screaming, and I looked, and I seen my two children slide. Tim slid under the gate, and Justin was standing there. Come on! He kept saying, and I thought, I'm not going to tell anybody. I'm related to those two.
Well, remember, we were with two friends, and she pushed their feet back.
Yeah, she did.
Well, and she's like, you can't do that. And I said, well, you shouldn't close the gates 10 minutes early.
Yeah.
That was on you, because we were hanging out with two friends at night. We're like, it's getting close to the gate shutting. So we went, and she started doing it. So what did we do? First thing said, go under it.
Yep. And a few years later, we started talking to a guy who was an employee at the Barnes & Noble, and we were like, oh yeah, we told him the story. He goes, that was you? And we're like, yeah. He goes, oh my goodness, that is like a legend in our Barnes & Noble. He's like, people still make fun of her for yelling at you guys.
It was so embarrassing. Chris also asked, most favorite article of clothing that you can't live without. Mine is a Michigan hoodie that I have. I would not want to live without that.
Mine's just my hats. I have a collection of hats. I've grown since I was a kid.
Mine's not one particular piece of clothing, but it's my Michigan gear. I have shirts and hats and jackets and all kinds of stuff, and that I couldn't live without that.
Mine are shorts, basketball shorts, cargo shorts. I hate jeans, so especially in the summer, I would die.
Yeah. Okay, Chris asked, if you could go visit anywhere around the world, where would it be? Mine would be Scotland, would be my first choice, and my second would be Switzerland.
Ireland, Japan, Norway, or Italy?
Mine's Ireland, hence my Irish blessing.
Mine's Ireland, Japan, Sweden, and I've always wanted to get a cup of Tim Hortons in Canada.
Okay, Joni from YouTube asked, favorite family tradition. When we first read this, we couldn't think of a family tradition, and then all of a sudden we come up with a ton of stuff that we really do that we didn't realize that it's just our family tradition because we just do it every year, I guess, right? Mm-hmm. What I came up with was decorating cookies at Christmas. A lot of times I'll set the stuff out all over the bar area, and we just gather around the bar and we just spend time decorating and goofing off and just having a really good time decorating cookies. We love it. Also, we watch all the Charlie Brown movies during each holiday. We have them for like Halloween, Thanksgiving, and Christmas, and so we do that. Valentine. Do we have the Valentine ones?
No.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I thought we did.
I don't think we have I think they have an Easter one we don't have.
Yeah, they do.
Okay.
I like playing games. We play games a lot on holidays.
Yeah.
Mine is decorating the Christmas tree and then watching Christmas movies. We got a pretty good collection of different Christmas movies.
Yeah.
That's always fun.
Mine is playing games. We do like Wii bowling and tabletop games. And on Halloween, me and Justin make it an effort to watch horror movies on Halloween. And last year we bought a collection of the old Universal horror movies from like the 30s and 40s with like
Yeah, that
Dracula,
was really
Frankenstein,
cool.
Werewolf.
Yeah.
It was really good.
Black Lagoon.
And they shut
Yeah,
off
Creature
all
from
the
Black
lights
Lagoon.
and put
Yep.
it on the stereo out
Yep.
here.
The only hard part was getting interrupted by trick-or-treaters because
Yeah.
we had to hold Jules back.
I wanted to scare them away so I could eat their candy while watching
That's terrible. They're so cute. That's mean.
it. Take the chain off the chainsaw.
You're a bully.
Yeah.
Okay. Joni also asked favorite summertime lunches and snacks. I like ice cream sandwiches or any kind of ice cream in the summer. And a lot of times we do, we heat up leftovers from the night before.
Leftovers for lunch. And then I was thinking about it. S'mores are one of my favorite snacks. But then we have Brahms. And I am so addicted to their birthday cake sundae.
That's an ice cream store out here. Brahms.
Yeah, it is so good.
Yeah.
Mine is watermelon and then homemade salads. Homemade potato salad, homemade macaroni salad, 7-layer salad, things like that. And we generally do those in the summer.
For snack, I'm considering lemonade a snack. And snow cones. And for lunches, we go to Walmart and get frozen sushi. It's really good. And we have that for lunch.
Joni asks, favorite movie of all time? My favorite movie of all time is The Christmas Story. But I like classic movies, so.
Mine is Chinatown with Jack Nicholson, Taxi Driver with Robert De Niro, John Wick, which is a newer one, with Keanu Reeves, and then Scott Pilgrim.
I kept playing rock, paper, scissors with myself and I couldn't come up with a winner. So I've got 2, Happy Gilmore and Zombieland.
I've seen too many good movies. So I have Zombieland, Scott Pilgrim, The Long Goodbye, The Big Lebowski, John Wick, Evil Dead 2, and Army of Darkness. Evil Dead 2, and Army of Darkness are a series together.
Okay, Joni also asked favorite novel of all time. Mine is, it's called Queen of the Castle by Lynn Bowen Walker. I'll have it down below too, but if you are looking for a good book, this has got like ideas to do with your family. It's got recipes. It is chocked full of fun things to do. It has a dessert of the month, so you make a dessert every month. It talks about so much stuff. This is the best book I have ever owned. I actually keep going back to it and rereading it because it's just that good.
I would say King of Thorns by Mark Lawrence. It's the second book in a trilogy series called The Broken Empire, and it's fantastic. I would definitely say that's my favorite.
So my favorite is called Darker Than Night by Tom Henderson, and it's actually based on a true events, and it's about 2 brothers from the Detroit area go up north to this little town in Michigan called Rose City, and they come up missing. And it's an unsolved murder that lasts about 20 years before they finally figure out who did it and things like that. And it's really cool because they talk about these different locations. So before we had moved to Midland, we lived in a town called West Branch, and the state police post out of West Branch was part of the investigation for these murders. And they talk about going to these different places, and it was like, we knew these places because we lived there.
Yeah, you could relate to the book.
Yeah, it was really good.
Yeah.
So that was my favorite novel of all time.
My favorite is called The Last Apprentice. It's a whole series. I think there's like 12 of them. I haven't read that many, but I read the first 3, and the 3rd book was my absolute favorite, which was the one that I read first. I was confused, and then I went back and read the first 2, and they were really good.
Hey, Joni also asked most loved hobby. Mine is YouTube. Love it, love it, love it.
Mine is collecting music, like CDs and vinyl records, and comic books.
Mine is actually working on rebuilding, repairing computers. I like to dig into them and change out components, and I try different softwares. I've got one that's called Linux Mint, that I've got a computer that you wipe the hard drive out and you put this Linux Mint on it, and it's got all these different free software and program. It's pretty cool. That's what I like to do.
Mine is reading comics, listening and buying music, and computer programming, which is what I'm going to college for, so that's good.
Tina, her channel's name is Top Cropper. She asked, what are our favorite apps? My favorite app is Criminal Case, Heyday, and I am really loving Bitmoji.
Mine is Radio U, which is like a rock and indie radio station, and then Netflix.
Mine is, I have 3. One's called Shazam, and it's like a music recognition app. So if there's a song playing on the radio and you like it, you can hit the button and it'll search a database and tell you who it is and what the song is. Pandora, I like listening to Pandora music. And then there's a new one I've got. It's a safety related game. It's called Harness Hero. And it shows you all these different harnesses and connectors and lanyards and things like that, and you have to inspect them. And then once you're done doing all that, you have to make sure they're attached correctly, and then you flick the guy off the building, and if you've got everything right, the harness fall protection saves him. If not, he like bounces to the ground and he's like lays there shaking. It's a stick figure, so it's not graphic, but it's fun.
He shakes?
Yeah, he like bounces a couple times if he lands. Yeah.
My 2 favorites are YouTube and the YouTube app, and a game called Velocity AE. It's by an independent game company called RX Entertainment, and it was actually made by a programmer who he made it while he was like off, like he was at home and he just made the game. And you can choose different like spaceships, and you unlock a new spaceship every like 10,000 points you get. And it's a never-ending thing, and you're just basically going down a track and trying to get as many points as you can, and it speeds up as you go, and it's really difficult. But every time I'm just bored or want something to do, I always play that game.
Okay, Tina also asked our favorite inventions. I have a lot of them, but the ones I chose is my iPhone, a coffee pot, computers, vacuums, and then quick cleaning items like Swiffers and stuff like that to make cleaning a lot shorter than what it used to be.
I'm gonna have to go with the music box known as an MP3 player and indoor plumbing.
I've got 3: guns, computers, and 426 Hemis.
Mine is computers and game consoles.
Last one, Tina asked us, what is our favorite music? My favorite music is classic rock, oldies, and worship music.
I listen to a lot of music, but probably my favorite is anything like metal, just related, like Megadeth, Motorhead, Iron Maiden, things like that.
I like rock, current rock, and classic rock.
Mine is also metal, but more specifically power metal, thrash metal, epic metal, and then whatever Buckethead does.
All right, this was a lot of fun. Thank you so much for asking us these questions. We had a lot of fun answering them and coming up with all this stuff, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
If you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button. We would love to have you stick around.
And like the video.
Yes. And share. All right, I'll talk to you later. Bye.
Bye.